Let's go to Victoria, who's on the line in Pensacola, Florida. Victoria, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you for taking my call. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Well, that's fun. I'm excited to talk to you. How can I help?
Well, so I kind of did things a little out of order, so you're probably going to ding me on that. But I started my own business about a year ago. Previously, I was a teacher, and I became very disenfranchised with the whole system of things, and I left. And so I started an online tutoring business. I'm a reading tutor online. I really enjoy it. I'm also working part-time at a private school, trying to follow your proximity principle. And I'm getting clients there, but I just feel stuck. I feel like I need to be in a career that, like, I thought I wanted my own business, but I feel like I need more structure, stability, money, that type of, I don't know if I should go and find a full-time job and do this on the side. If I need to give it some more time, my savings is running out and I'm starting to feel the pressure, and maybe that is the reason I'm feeling this way. But I just feel like something's got to change. And so I don't know. I prayed about it, and I wrote call Ken Coleman this week, and so I'm calling you.
Well, I am humbled that you did that, but I'm going to tell you something. You just told me and the audience what it is you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be teaching.
Okay.
You're supposed to be teaching, but here's the thing. The reason you left is because you were disenfranchised, not because you stopped loving teaching, because the first thing you did when you left the place where you're disenfranchised is you started a tutoring business where you're teaching kids. Now you're in a private school and you're teaching again. So it wasn't the teaching. It wasn't what you were doing. It was where you were doing it. And we don't even need to unpack it, but I got a good guess as to why you were disenfranchised. So tell me, give me the short version. Why'd you leave the previous teaching role?
I left because the way students and teachers in schools are measured does not match the way that we're supposed to teach them, and it doesn't really measure what they're wanting to measure in the first place.
Exactly.
And it demoralized students and faculty and everybody. I mean, it's
been there. Listen, I did a rant on this, didn't I, Madison, a year ago, and it's on my Facebook page. I guess you could find it. But I did a rant on this after talking to somebody just like you, a lady who had left teaching, and when I dug down into it, it was because of the stupid standardized testing. Let me say that again. The stupid, asinine, standardized testing. It's ridiculous. You know it, Victoria. You said it. You said it better than I could. It demoralizes the student, it demoralizes the teacher, it demoralizes the administration. You're all under this crazy bureaucratic thumb, and we got to get test scores up so we can get more funding and we don't get fired. And meanwhile, we're not teaching the students. I'm going to tell you something. I've got 2 kids in public school right now, and they are 5th and 4th graders, and they always talk about those stupid standardized tests. They're like sick to their stomach over it, and they're feeling the pressure. And you know what the breakthrough was in my house, Victoria?
What's that?
I said what I'm saying to you, to them. I said, these things are stupid and they don't matter. This has nothing to do with your grade. This has nothing to do with you advancing to the next class. This is for the school and the teacher. And my kids looked at me like I had 4 eyes. And I said, I'm telling you, it doesn't affect your grade. Ask your teacher. So they did. So I'm going to tell you something. You need to be in a private situation, a private school situation, which you've already taken the steps to get in proximity. So good on you. Or you need to be in a charter school, which again is another private thing, but you have got to put yourself, maybe it's in a higher education role. But here's what we know, Victoria, you love teaching and instructing. And I also think that your head and your heart are matched up. You can't keep doing this. You need steady income, and you don't need all the stress, and you're qualified. So don't put yourself back into that public school situation. Find a different situation, and I don't have to tell you what those are. You know your world. And you know exactly how to get there. So, keep doing what you got to do right now. And I would say that I wouldn't necessarily shut down your tutoring business. I just think you need a break to get full-time work. Sit back and go, what did work, what didn't work? And if you do it as a part-time side gig, now it's no more pressure and it's just a labor of love and it actually brings in extra money, then I'd keep it. But I would you get to dictate the terms and the schedule and everything else. So that's what I think you should do.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
Hey, listen, we need you to teach. You understand that? Like, there are some kids out there that need you to teach. So you step back into it triumphantly.
Thank you.
I love it. I got to tell you, I'm so sick of getting these phone calls. Now, I'm glad she called, but I am sick to death of teachers that are burning out because of the bureaucrats and the politicians who don't have a dadgum brain in their head. I mean, we're talking about the greatest resource that any country in the world has is its next generation. Now, if I polled everybody that listens to this show and I would say, how important is education? It would rank up at the very top. You'd give it a 10 out of 10. And yet we allow our kids, we allow our teachers to be put in a situation where they are under stress. They are not being able to do the actual job that they were created to do. It's not effective for anything. And here's what's happening. The kids that learn easily in the cattle call environment of public education, and quite frankly, many private schools, we're going to teach one way to 30 kids. Now, how much sense does that make? Well, this is where we stand in 2019. I'm going to tell you something. If God continues to give me platform and influence, I'm going to be a guy that's going to raise my hand on this. I'm going to Washington, D.C. I may ask you all to sign a petition, and we're going to go raise a ruckus because I am tired of kids that are getting left behind because of this standardized testing crap, and we're teaching one size fits all. That's not how everybody learns, and it's time we as parents wake up and do something about it.